Back Truth Seeker. Monday, December 11th, 2017. This morning, the breaking news, the story from the NFL as Carson Wentz has a torn ACL. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about last night's Sunday night football game. We're going to talk about Monday night football and a few other things. So, the final score of yesterday's game was 43-35, and the big storyline was the knee injury to Carson Wentz and the potential torn ACL, which has now been confirmed. That doesn't mean he really has a torn ACL, though. You need to understand, all professional sports games are scripted from the final score to the box score. The championship is written before the season begins. It's all planned theater. And if you disagree, you are wrong, because I have proven this point 1,000 times over in the time I've been doing this work since 2013. Called nearly every sports championship long before it happened, plus oftentimes the score to go with the game and other things that happen that should be seemingly impossible to predict. There's a reason USA Today wrote an article about me trying to make me look like a fool for exposing the world of rigged sports. They can't stop it. So look, 43. We've talked about this number before. It's the 14th prime number. This was week 14. The number 14 has to do with end. A lot of things end with 14. It's why in the last two college championships, I favored the team that was coming in with one loss. Remember, the last two college football championships have been Clemson versus Alabama. Both times the team that was 13-1 won, and the team that was 14-0 lost. The word end equals 14, and now we're seeing the end of Carson Wentz's scripted season at the end of week 14 with a torn ACL. Notice, torn ACL has gematria 43. Again, 43 is the 14th prime. It was a knee injury. Knee equals 35. The Super Bowl will be on the 35th day of the year this year. Remember, we talk about all the time. Call it the Tom Brady number. So the backup for Carson Wentz is Nick Foles. And this guy fits in with what I've been talking about all year with the Eagles. Remember, in week 3, I said why I expected the Eagles to become 10-1 this year. In week 3, I made that prediction. It became true. And I'll remind you right now why I made the prediction of 10-1. Let's start with the initials of Nick Foles to get there. NF. N is the 14th letter. F is the 6th. And what 14-6 points to is what I've been talking about with the Eagles all year in light of the scripted narrative. June 14th, 14/6 is the day the flag was established, and the flag was created in Philadelphia. The current president, who's the winner of the rigged selection, who was born to be, just like these athletes are. You guys got to understand what's going on in the world. People are being farmed for their future positions, from presidents to football players to news anchors. We're living in a planned agenda. There's a gang of people that rule over us. It's a Masonic network. Anyhow, June 14th, 14/6. What did Donald Trump do this year? Donald Trump took on the NFL on September 23rd and not arbitrarily. That date's 23/9. The flag was sewn at 239 Arch Street in Philadelphia. When Donald Trump won the rigged selection, the flag was 239 years old. 239 is the 52nd prime. Here we are in the year of Super Bowl 52. Minnesota equals 52. So does president, so does government, so does authority, so does Kabbalah, which is what this code is. So does gematria. Gematria is the practice of coding letters and numbers together. These are special numbers. This is a special football season. The word flag itself, using the alphabetic order, sums to 26. If the AFC wins the Super Bowl this year, it'll be the 26th Super Bowl win. There's something called Francis Bacon gematria. That's where you add 26 for each capital letter. So if you capitalize F in flag, it's 26 plus 26, which equals 52. Again, 239, the 52nd prime, the flag front and center this year. Thanks to, the actor-in-chief. All presidents are puppets, Every day they go out and deliver contrived speeches that correspond with the date. See my work on what I've exposed about Donald Trump since he began his campaign. Announced he was running from the 58-story Trump Tower for the 58th presidential election, where on Inauguration Day he hired the 58-year-old Steve Ray. Freemasonry 58, Secret Society 58, Washington 58, United States 58. Anyway, Philadelphia in Gematria equals 101. So does church. Church 101. Let me see if they've changed this story. They had this up last night and this morning. Let's see if it's still up from ESPN. They've had this story up. It's a minute 01 about Carson Wentz's injury. It's still up. See, they're not going to take this away, this minute 01 story. This is mocking. ESPN does this with all their stories. ESPN, part of the same Masonic network that's into the rigging of sports. And let me just show you this. That minute 01, consider that is 61 seconds. Show you why that matters. We're going to Philadelphia. What's going on here? What is going on? Okay, are you guys watching this? Gematria.com. Why is it not letting me go there? What is this? Oh my God. Sometimes I hate technology. Is Derek's... Okay, here we go. Look at this. Philadelphia, 101 and 61. The name Philadelphia comes from the Bible. The Church of Philadelphia, 61, 101. You know, think about how the Eagles were established in 33. So were the Steelers. Football's on Sunday. Carson Wentz gets his 33rd touchdown pass after the injury, then goes out of the game. Just goes to show you, it's all scripted theater. Bible, 33. Sunday, 33. You know, not an arbitrary number. You pull out our satanic gematria. Here's why it's called satanic gematria. Starts with the number 36. A is 36, up to Z is 61. Instead of A is 1, Z is 26. 666 is the 36th triangular number, meaning if you add 1 through 36, it equals 666. In this cipher, A is 36, you see? Again, Z is 61, which is the 18th prime. 18 factors into 6 plus 6 plus 6. But coming back, NFL, 137, that's the 33rd prime number. Big number in NFL history. So, are you following Church 101, Philadelphia 101? This code comes from the Bible. The name Philadelphia comes from the Bible. A minute 01 is 61 seconds. ESPN doesn't have up that story coincidentally. It's because everything is scripted by this code. You have to be brain dead to not follow. And sadly, so many people in this nation are completely brain dead. So coming back to our man Nick Foles, NF 14-6. He's got the right name for the National Football League. His full name equals 85 like NFL. 104, 74, 1776, date with 104 numerology. Nick Foles, 50 like America, 40 like the United States, 149 like Revelation. The name Revelation, or the name Philadelphia, comes from the book of Revelation. Nicholas equals 135. Look at that. Big number in Philadelphia. Kobe Bryant, the day before this game was played, the story. Kobe Bryant's rendition of Fly, Eagles, Fly, with the emphasis on those words. It's not arbitrary. Fly, Eagles, Fly equals 135, like the Key of David. In the Bible, there's a letter written to the Church of Philadelphia about the Key of David. Kobe Bryant's full name, Kobe Bean Bryant, equals 135. His father was Joe Jellybean Bryant. If you missed my work on Kobe, his final game last year, the Warriors, Michael Jordan, well, you really missed out. But it's all in the book, so have no fear. Pick up that book when it comes out, January. Philadelphia, established on a date with numerology 135. Again, all of pro sports is scripted to the box score. Carson Wentz began his career with 134 passes without an interception. His 135th pass is what got picked. Okay? You know? Dak Prescott, NFC East, Eagles and Cowboys. He was the 135th overall pick. Tony Romo equals 135. At the beginning of this year, I predicted the Cowboys would make it to this year's Super Bowl. But I changed that pick in week 3 when I saw the whole narrative with the flag and Philadelphia. That made a lot of sense. Remember, though, Ezekiel Elliott, another big story this year. Ezekiel's the 26th book of the Bible. Like flag equals 26, like AFC wins the Super Bowl, it'll be the 26th Super Bowl win for the AFC. Just like how they got their 25th last year on 2/5. So this Nick Foles, look at his career. He's played for the Eagles, the Chiefs. Andy Reid used to be Eagles coach, now with the Chiefs. And also the Rams, who this injury happened against, who he got put in against. I mean, could it be scripted any better? It couldn't. It could not. And it's such an obvious script. As for the Eagles winning by 8 points yesterday, 43-35, I talked about this, but I wrote this before the game was played, saying let's watch out in light of the Kobe tribute, what's going to happen in today's game. Kobe played his basketball in LA, Eagles equals 49 like revelation, like 8. Kobe wore 8. He had this 8 Eagles jersey on for this Fly Eagles Fly, and then the Eagles go on to win by 8 over the LA team. You see, Kobe born in Philly, played his NBA career in Los Angeles, NFL 49, Super Bowl 49. The 49ers hosted the golden anniversary of the NFL on February 7th, the 38th day of the year. Gold equals 38. The team from the 38th state won. Colorado equals 38. Script. That was a date with 18 numerology, Super Bowl 50. Peyton Manning wore 18. His first pass was an 18-yard completion to number 81. Come on. Come on, people. Not to mention I called that Super Bowl what it would be, what 2 teams would be, who'd be the MVP, and what the halftime entertainment would be in October, months before it was played, which is why I got USA Today to write an article making fun of me. Saw through their script way too well. So then look what happens last night on Sunday Night Football. How many times have I made a video saying 39 is the number on Sunday Night Football? And it's like almost every week there's a big stat with 39. Team wins with 39. QB has 39 passing attempts. QB with a 39 name wins. Team with a 39 name wins. It's the same thing again and again and again. Earlier this year when the Giants were winless, remember New York equals 39, NY equals 39, NYC equals 39, Empire equals 39, New York established on a date with 39 numerology. I said don't be surprised if New York gets their first win on Sunday Night Football. They did, It's always 39 on Sunday Night Football. Steelers win with 39 last night. It was a date with 39 numerology. It's just the same thing every week. I don't know how people don't see through the scripting when you got people like myself out here spelling it out and just showing you how easy it is to see. I wish there were more people doing what I did and helping show how easy gematria is to understand. Some other people are doing some work. Tony Tell It Like It Is making gematria look retarded. Totally tune him out. There are some other people doing good work. Derek's work is just, he's making this stuff too complicated. Gematria is not this complicated. And Derek seems to want to, Derek has an agenda. Like he wants to make everything sync to a certain number. He wants to make everything line up with the eclipse. I don't think he's doing himself any favors with his decodes. It's better just to stick with the very obvious patterns and show how redundant they are. Like 39 in Sunday Night Football. SNF 39, Big Ben 39. Harbaugh was the coach. Remember the Harbaugh brothers Super Bowl? Also, yesterday's date, in addition to having 39 numerology, had 59 numerology. Pittsburgh equals 59. Look at these rushing stats. Since when can a team win with 59 rushing yards, especially when the other team runs the ball all over them? It's just like these games are just, it's like every year they make football look stupider and stupider. But 152 yards to 59 yards, that was not coincidental. Pennsylvania, 152, Pittsburgh, 59, on the date with 59 numerology. 59 is the 17th prime. As I've been saying all year since well before the season began, I like the Patriots in the Super Bowl for the AFC. If I'm wrong about that, it'll be the Steelers. Because the Steelers owner died 98 days from his 85th birthday. This is the 98th season of the NFL. But let's not forget Patriots equals 98, New England Patriots 98, Tom Brady 98. Tom Brady became starter at Michigan in 98. Big Ben, he had 66 passing attempts. NFL equals 66. The 66th book of the Bible is based on the 39 books of the Old Testament. You know, it's not coincidental. NFL plays on Sunday, the Bible day. Those Antonio Brown 213 receiving yards or something else. So let's look at Monday Night Football. Right now there's two teams that are 11-2. They are the two teams from Pennsylvania, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. And something I documented last year on July 21st, 2016, or perhaps I made the video the next day, July 22nd. Made the video one of those 2 days. My channel's been deleted, so we can't go back and watch, but a lot of people remember the video. On July 21st, 2016, Denny Green was murdered. And then the next day, July 22nd, they opened up US Bank Stadium. US Bank Stadium, using the alphabetic order, equals 155. Denny Green died 155 days after his birthday, the day before they opened the new stadium for Fan Day in Minnesota. That's the stadium that's going to host Super Bowl 52. Denny Green's date of death, July 21st, it was 52 days before September 11th, which is the day that the Minnesota Vikings played their first game last year. And Minnesota in Gematria equals 52, plus they're hosting Super Bowl 52. And Denny Green was born in Pennsylvania. If we see an all Pennsylvania Super Bowl, if it ends up being the Steelers and Eagles, or even if just one of those teams makes it, remember that Denny Green died, who's from Pennsylvania, and who coached in Minnesota, and who was murdered the day before they opened the stadium that's going to host the Super Bowl. He was born February 17th, died July 21st. 217-721. 155 days later, again, US Bank Stadium 155. That is not coincidental, dying 52 days. What I said in that video is I said there's never been a team that played in their Super Bowl that was hosted in their city. It's still yet to happen. I said if Minnesota ends up being the first team to do it, remember this. And Minnesota this year, they have a chance. They fell to 10-3. The Vikings this week, 103 is the 27th prime. If the NFC did win the Super Bowl this year, it'd be the 27th Super Bowl win. You know, that's a possible narrative that the Vikings do end up making it, now with the Wentz injury and them being one of the top teams. Just giving you the things to look at. We got two 11-2 teams. The reason 11-2 matters is because Super Bowl equals 112. The Patriots, if they win tonight on Monday Night Football, they'll also be 11-2, like 112. MNF equals 33. Tom equals 33. Today has a life lesson number of 33. If somebody can look up the Monday Night Football stats, I'd like to know what game number this is for Tom Brady in his career on Monday Night Football. Could be his 33rd game on Monday Night Football. Who knows? But tonight, going to be the 102nd regular season game all time between these teams. Or the 105th. Little typo here. Excuse me. I'm supposed to say 105th. 105th if you count the playoffs. And what I'm noticing is the Dolphins. Remember, the Patriots were just like not a very good football team. Continual loser. Pretty much until Tom Brady became the quarterback. After the 9/11 and Patriot Act. Anyway, the Dolphins, who've been losers for a long time, they have a better record than the Patriots. That reminds you that the Patriots aren't a very good football team. Or they weren't until the script came in for 9/11. So notice, the Patriots can get their 50th regular season win tonight, and if they do win, with their 2 playoff wins, it'll be their 52nd win all time. And Dolphins has Gematria 52. If they become 11-2, that'll look well for the Super Bowl alignment for Super Bowl 52. And what I've been pointing out since the game ended last year, since the Super Bowl game ended, is the Patriots offense in Super Bowl 51. Tom Brady had 62 passing attempts. Minneapolis equals 62. Tom Brady could potentially become 6-2 in Super Bowls, getting his 26th, or getting the AFC's 26th Super Bowl win over the NFC. Also, the Patriots offense had 93 total plays last year. Minneapolis, Minnesota equals 93. They're on the 93rd Meridian West. The Super Bowl stats last year, to me, were pointing to the fact that Tom Brady's going to be in the Super Bowl again. And still remains to be seen. Could end up being the Steelers yet. But tonight, if they win against the Dolphins, all of this, it looks good for being in the Super Bowl. And notice that would leave the Dolphins sitting at 52 regular season wins against the Patriots as well. There's always more you can decode. You can measure from the quarterback birthdays and whatnot. But I will be surprised if the Patriots lose tonight. If the Patriots do lose tonight, I think that might mean we need to give the edge to the Steelers at this point. They're the only other team that has a real narrative in the scripting of the numbers. So